Swadika, good morning and welcome to Newsline. I'm Cholapansa Narula. It's Monday, October 26th of 2015, and here are today's top news. In today's Thailand Moves Forward, the Prime Minister chaired a merit-making ceremony to mark 2 years since the passing of the late Supreme Patriarch. Prime Minister Janil Prajuchan-o-cha was joined by his wife, Mrs. Naraporn Chan-o-cha, and members of the cabinet, including Interior Minister General Anupong Phao-Jinda, Agriculture Minister General Chatchai Sarikanya, and Army Commander General Thirachai Nakwanit in the ceremony, which took place on Sunday at Wat Pawan Niwet Vihan in Bangkok. The religious rite was not only held to mark the passing of the late Supreme Patriarch, but also to celebrate the 102nd year since his birth. A throng of Buddhist followers attended the ceremony, in which 10 monks were invited to perform the prayers after all offerings were presented by the Prime Minister. Throughout the day, Buddhists in white clothes were also seen visiting the temple, as Sunday was the last day that the public would be allowed inside the museum of the former abbot of Wat Pawan Niwet Vihan to pay their respects to the sacred relics in the temple. In response to the public doubts and concerns about its movements, the government has pleaded with Thai people to open their minds and carefully consider its intentions before or behind the policies. Prime Minister's office spokesperson, Major General Sanson Kaew-Kamnert, has reiterated that the government had been making all-out efforts to materialize several projects aimed at upgrading the living quality of Thai people, such as energy sustainability and the infrastructure development projects. Major General Sanson said that a lack of PR might be blamed for public misinterpretation of the government's policies. Therefore, Prime Minister Janil Prajuchan-o-cha has instructed all state agencies to organize Q&A talks to clarify people's doubts and facilitate an exchange of opinions and suggestions between the government and the public. Following the launch of the One Chamber of Commerce, One Agricultural Cooperative by the Thai Chamber of Commerce, or TCC, we will be talking to the Vice Chairman of TCC, Mr. Somkiat Anurat, and find out more about this project. สวัสดีค่ะ คุณ Somkiat.
สวัสดีครับ คุณ Cholpasa ครับ
Thank you very much for joining Newsline this morning. Now, what does the TCC hope to achieve by establishing an agricultural cooperative in each provincial chamber of commerce?
Well,คุณ Cholpasa, actually we are not establishing all these agricultural cooperatives. For the 29 cooperatives that we are working with, only one that we help to set up is the one who growing the fruits and vegetables for the Bangkok market, which we help them to set up this cooperative in Ang Thong province, along with our Chamber of Commerce there in Ang Thong. But the rest there are already the cooperatives that working for themselves, and we go in there just to try to help them to improve their productivity and access to the market.
I see. So you are there to provide know-how and perhaps marketing channels and distributing channels to these cooperatives?
Yes, actually we are doing to help them move up the value chain, which I think will help the agricultural sector as a whole to improve their productivity and marketing access.
I see. So how many agricultural cooperatives do we currently have nationwide, and how many will be under this project to receive help from the Thai Chamber of Commerce?
Well, actually, we only start at the beginning of this year. What happened is that sometime last year, our Pisalok Chamber of Commerce have visited their members, and some of the cooperatives there in Pittsburgh are also the members of the Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce. So once they visit the cooperative, they found that the cooperative really needed to have somebody to help them. And I advised them how to improve their operation and access to the market. That's when the Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce has set up a working team to help them. And in the past, the production has improved in their first batch of crop that they earn 30% more than their previous operation by doing the rejuvenate of their land so that there is no foreign object in their paddies.
I see. So basically, with the help of Thai Chamber of Commerce in
yes, Thai Chamber of Commerce along with our provincial Chamber of Commerce, yes.
I see. Did you see a rise in the revenue for the cooperatives?
Yes, we not only see the rise of the revenue, but we also see the intention to improve themselves. Because what we heard from them saying is that they come to the dead end of how they want to climb to another level or two, saying that the president of the cooperative is a farmer. Why president is a farmer? Everybody at the council are the farmers, so they have no knowledge to bring themselves up to another level to improve their production and market access.
I see. So basically, it's the management difficulties,
financial
challenges that
the
farmers are facing. So, I mean, will this be a consistent help to be provided to the farmers there, to agricultural cooperatives there, or is there actually a time frame of which TCC has given to each particular provincial chamber of commerce within this project?
Interesting question, Chandra. Once we get deeper into cooperation with these cooperatives, we found out that this is a big abundant resources that we can tap. The agricultural cooperative all over Thailand at the moment is around 3,800 cooperatives. They have the cash flow among themselves around 230 billion baht, which quite a big sum that left in the bank, and they are only doing a small lending to their members. And we feel at the Thai Chamber of Commerce that these resources can be a big part of our Thai economy development. And at the Thai Chamber of Commerce and along with our provincial Chamber of Commerce, we have targeted that we're going to go in and help around 100 cooperatives all over the country.
I see.
Till the end of next year. And on from the next year on, we probably go on and help and put it in a long-term project so that the agricultural cooperative can be a big part of our agricultural development in the country, so that the farmers will gain from this development.
So, Kian, may I ask you a little bit more as to how the TCC will be helping farmers raise their revenue? As one would the focus be on the upgrading of the quality, the standards of products, as that perhaps could be key in distinguishing, why Thai products are better than, other countries?
Well, I believe that people now are more aware of the food safety. And the agricultural products, if you grow and if you harvest and produce in a better quality, I believe the market is wide open for all these we ask them to work more caution, more closely to make that product in a better quality so that they can enter into the local market and even to the export market so that they can earn much more revenue to the products.
I see.
We have quite a few of the experts at the Thai Chamber of Commerce that are willing to come and help all these agricultural cooperatives so that they can also help the members who are the farmers who are doing different crops all over the country.
Well, Kun Somkiat, that's all the time we have. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me on.
And that was Kun Somkiat Anurat, the Vice Chairman of the Thai Chamber of Commerce, which in recent years has initiated a number of programs to strengthen businesses at all levels, and that includes community development as well. And we're talking about the One Chamber of Commerce, One Agricultural Cooperative, which would certainly help raise the revenue of farmers across the country. Let's move on to our next story. Members of the National Reform Steering Assembly are scheduled to meet this week in a two-day session to discuss all reform proposals. NRSA Chairman Thinapan Nakata has issued an order calling on all members to meet today and tomorrow to deliberate on urgent matters concerning national reform efforts in 11 areas under the 2014 Provisional Constitution. Areas which are set to be brought up for discussion this time included politics, government administration, legal and justice process, and local administration. NRSA members who are interested in proposing their ideas have been advised to submit notice of their intention to the officers responsible at 8 a.m. before the session starts at 9:30 a.m. Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sirinthorn has called on Associate Professor Pauline Peter Mella and Dr. Rose Jael Nuduluhu to receive the Princess Sinakurin Awards for 2015. The ceremony took place at the Chakri Throne Hall in the Royal Grand Palace in Bangkok. After the award ceremony, Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sirinthorn hosted a reception for the two award recipients. Associate Professor Pauline Peter Mella from Tanzania is renowned for spending her career actively bettering the circumstances of women's lives in significant ways. She founded the nursing department at Dar es Salaam University, currently Muhimbili University of Health and Allied Sciences, striving to improve health services for women in rural areas of Tanzania. After her retirement, she went on to found the Faculty of Nursing at Ube Karuki Memorial University and continues to work for the improvement of nursing in Tanzania.
When I completed, they followed me back home. I joined the International Council for Healthcare for Women, and so I was invited to attend international conference for healthcare in women. And during that time, I was introduced to the international office. So I had the opportunity of talking about Tanzania and my future vision. So I could express what I really thought I could do in my country. So from that point, my professor supported me to prepare the write-up that brought about support for the first degree. But also, I have managed to work with the Norwegian Nurses Associations through the International Council of Nurses to establish a project for the Nurses Association, and that was also a very successful project. Whenever I meet people like you here, I always talk, and I don't hide my needs, especially for my.
Dr. Rose Jael Nuduluhu from Zimbabwe is a leading force in Africa, known for her visionary views on nursing and midwifery. She was the former president of the East, Central, and Southern Africa College of Nursing.
I feel really highly honored by this award. To be considered for this award, the recommendation was made by our Director of Nursing Services. So we have been invited to sponsor a candidate, to put forward the name of a candidate of a nurse that we feel has made a great contribution in the country, and we would like to put your name forward. And she gave me the forms, and as I looked at the forms, they also required endorsement from the Registrar of the Nurses Council and the President of the Nurses Association. They had to support the nomination. And when I discussed and showed the form to these other members, they were supportive.
The Princess Sina Karin Award is conferred annually upon an individual, registered nurse and or midwife, a group of registered nurses and or group of registered midwives who have made a significant contribution through direct care, research, education or management within the nursing or midwifery profession and for the development of nursing or midwifery profession. UNAIDS collaborated with private enterprises to organize the Bangkok 10-kilometer international run, which was attended by a large number of both Thai and foreign runners. The event commenced during the early hours of October 25, 2015, with the support from UNAIDS and private organizations to allow interested runners to participate in the mini-marathon and promote various forms of physical activities. Previously, this mini-marathon was entitled UN Day 10-kilometer international run, but was cancelled since 2008. It was revived again this year as more people are exercising and renamed to Bangkok 10-kilometer international run. Runners started and finished at Rajadamnern Nok Road in front of United Nations organization. The route ran through many important sites such as the Mabel Temple, Titlada Palace, Dusit Zoo and the National Library. The winner received a blazer. The first 5 runners at the finish line were awarded a trophy, and all runners completing the mini-marathon course within the scheduled time also received a Medal of Honor to commemorate their participation. And that's it for Thailand Moves Forward for today. We'll now have a quick look at the exchange rates and also commodity prices. Newsline will return with ASEAN and beyond. Stay with us.
To maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The 4th core value: seeking direct and indirect knowledge and education.
Even if we don't see them, they are amongst us. And they're hungry. Slay your power-sucking monsters. Take their power away. Think when you plug.
ASEAN Political and Security Community. Prevent being deceived. Prevent being forced. Prevent being injured. The problem of human trafficking in children, women, and labor has been increasingly severe. Thailand and the ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights are working together to get rid of these problems in order to be fully accepted by the international community. One vision, one identity, one community.
Welcome to ASEAN, a community comprised of 10 countries.
each with its unique culture and history, now unifying to bring added prosperity to the region. For centuries, each country remained independent, but now we are coming together to compete in the 21st century globalized world. ASEAN is bringing together more than 600 million citizens and a total land area of 4.4 million square kilometers, and is providing economic opportunities, trade, travel, and new educational possibilities. The combined GDP of all 10 ASEAN countries comes to a total of $2.4 trillion, which means the ASEAN entity ranks amongst the world's major economic powers. The future is here. Welcome to ASEAN, the community of opportunities. The Southeast Asia region is now becoming one.
Back, you're watching Newsline. NBT World reporter Panotsi Sinsap is currently in Laos, and he had a chance to interview a specialist at a power plant company about how Laos is positioning itself to be an energy provider for other ASEAN countries. Here's Kun Panot with the story.
There are over 20 hydropower plants in Laos, and there are plans to build more in the country in the future. The current operating plants provide 3,294 megawatts for a total of almost 15.5 billion kilowatt-hour per year. Two-thirds of this amount were exported to Thailand, and a bit around 150 megawatts went to Vietnam. Selling this energy yields a $600 million a year return for Laos. Through the country's efficient power usage, there is more energy generated than what the country actually needs, which is presenting the Laotian government with an excess of energy that it can sell to its neighbors. Laos wants to be considered as the so-called battery of ASEAN, and a green one at that, with aims to provide pure 100% renewable and clean energy that can be used throughout the region. This is Nam Ngum 1 Dam, the country's major powerhouse, which supplies 155 megawatts of electricity and connects to various generators that powers Vientiane and nearby regions. Currently, the leftover supply will be sold to Thailand. The deputy director of the Nam Ngum hydropower plant, Mr. Somchai Sichantharat, is more than happy to give us a tour of the plant.
The Nam Ngum 1 hydropower plant is comprised of 5 generators. There are 2 small ones that generate 17.5 megawatts each, while another 3 big ones generate 40 megawatts each. At the moment, it can generate 155 megawatts. Although since it is a major power plant, we are planning to increase its capacity by another 120 megawatts by 2019. Laos would like to develop itself to be considered as the energy generator of Southeast Asia.
Laos' goals fit in well with the goal of the ASEAN power grid, which is to link and share the country's power supplies in an attempt to promote a more efficient, economic, and secure power system by developing international electricity networks in ASEAN. This goal is to optimize the use of energy resources in the region by sharing the benefits.
So now we're conducting various studies like how we can sell our power to Singapore and other countries, what rules or regulations we might face, what technological struggles we might encounter, and most importantly, how we can transfer the power to other countries using the infrastructure we already have so we can expand our energy network. These are the issues that we're figuring out at the moment.
There are ongoing studies to connect the region's power supply together in order to create a gigantic power web. and the member countries estimate that billions of dollars will be required to connect them, but the savings and benefits will be far greater. And it's another step forward, being a truly united region, as we no longer work individually, but together as a truly unified region. For NBT World, I'm Panusi Sinsap in Vientiane, Laos.
Thank you very much, Kun Panot, for that special report. And that's all the time we have for this morning's edition of Newsline. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Cholapansa Narula. See you tomorrow. Sawasdee ka.